What is up YouTube? Welcome back to another Dragon Traveler video, and this week marks the 100-day celebration since the game has launched in global. But I just wanted to share this video with you guys because since it's become the 100-day celebration, I wanted to let you guys know if this game is worth playing in the Big 26. So, if you guys are new to the channel or new to the game, this game is basically an idle game that is going to pretty much have a lot of progression gated through time. It's not a bad thing though, it's a very good side game, even a main game if you do like to play a lot, because there is a lot of content in the game that you can do. This is just one of the menus that you can see that there is a ton of content. A lot of this is farming modes, but there's even stuff such as a tower mode that resets. There's stuff as like Coliseum, which will have different recommendations and side effects to characters, which will make certain characters even stronger. And of course, there is a ton of PvP if you do like to play PvP. Now, because it's an idle game, people get pressured to play a lot. So on my account, actually, I don't want to say I don't log in every day, but I don't log in every day. I do play this game extremely casually, and it is by far the most fun game I've played in terms of just casual gameplay. Now, you're probably thinking I'm saying this because I am sponsored by, the company, but I will say, like, even if I wasn't sponsored, I definitely play this game as a side game because I do like idle games. And for me personally, I'm a big fan of collecting skins, and you can kind of see the skins in this game. They go pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, okay, I don't want to get demonetized. But in terms of just gameplay, it's pretty fun. The combat itself isn't too difficult. It is an auto battler, however, there is a lot of strategy and in-depth decisions you have to make, especially according to the teams that you play. And also you can use your skills manually, you can also target stuff, which makes the game overall a pretty good balanced game in terms of stuff that you want in an idle game. Now, there is always the aspect of, is this game pay to win? So, to be honest, I would say, I would be lying if I said, idle games weren't pay to win by nature, but the great thing about this game is that you can skip on banners and you do not get punished that heavily. Now, if you're free to play, you might struggle a little bit, but if you do play as a low spender, there are some really good monthly packs that you can buy. But there's also this lifetime summon license. If you do play for a while or you plan to play for a while, you can just buy this one time and forever. You'll always get summons. And I don't think the game is going to EOS anytime soon because the revenue has done really well in the first few months for global. So, you can spend and get a lifetime, license if you want. You don't have to though, you can play completely as free to play. Now, this game does have 6 separate elements, so you will have to build up dragons for the team that you want to play. And for the most part, you're only going to really need to play 2 teams. You will have to play a third later on, and in the beginning of the game, you'll only play 1. But it makes it so that you can skip on a lot of banners when the characters that are featured are not meta for the teams that you're playing. So for example here, if I go to the banners, which we'll go back to again, you can see that this banner is Caesar, and she's a part of the yellow and the purple team to make things very simple. And for me, I don't play either of these teams. I play this blue team here, the Arcane Wisdom team, and I also play the Otherworld Return team, and then when I do start building my third team, I am going to play the Wild Spirit team. So you can see that she doesn't even fit into any of these factions, so I have no reason to pull for her. However, some people still pull for these characters because, like I said, the skins for some of these characters are pretty spicy, pretty insane. Yeah, I don't even use Athena, but I do have Athena's skin here. So yeah, but also, if you guys do just plan to play a different team, you can pull for 1 copy only and it's fine. And you're going to be able to start farming the dupes, the shards in this game, which is very important. Now, on the topic of dupes, you do need a lot of dupes in this game. So you can see there's star grades here. And I will say it can feel very overwhelming because you do need 18 copies to get a maxed out character for the most part. And this will unlock very strong passives, but you can get them to not their max potential, but to like a very high potential by just getting about 8 copies, but you will want to eventually push for more. Now, the great part about this game though is that it does have a wish list. So for some reason, some idle games I've played recently, you guys probably already know what I'm talking about, do not have a wish list system, but this game does. So it does make it so that you can target the characters that you want a lot more easily. And it is 40 summons for pity. So it doesn't take that long to get to pity. This is the summon animation if you guys haven't seen it already. But you can see right away, I do end up getting a legendary. So, and once I do get her on that last summon, which is very, very lucky or unlucky, however you want to look at it. But this way I can show you it does only have 40 draws for pity. And there's no 50-50 on the rate up banners, right? So if I go to details here, no 50-50, you're guaranteed to get the character on the rate up banners. So it does make it so that getting the characters that you want isn't that difficult, especially if you're skipping banners. And what people do is they pull these summons to go for, you know, specific characters, right, that they have been waiting for, and they do rerun pretty often. Now there is a secondary system in terms of summoning, but this is a different currency. You can get this completely, you know, free to play very easily, and this is going to be very important to summon for different stuff, such as artifacts, such as monsters, such as Howlkins, which are kind of like pets, and these are all going to boost your stats as well. So there is another banner, but you don't have to worry because it does use a different currency, and you get this currency by doing a ton of stuff in the game. For example, a very good one to show you could be something like, what's it called here? Coliseum, which you can see you get these soul elixirs. You can also use your diamonds in this game to buy them as well, which is a very good thing to do. Now, the best thing I like about this game is that there is like a 2x retrieval thing where if you do skip a day, you know how I mentioned I wasn't playing super seriously and playing casually. If you miss a day of doing dailies, you pretty much get it all the next day, right? Doubled. There are going to be some nuances, but for the most part, if you skip a day or two of doing your dailies, the game doesn't really punish you. So that's a very good system in the game. And it makes it so that if you don't have a lot of time in your day like I do to, you know, play one specific game a lot, then you can, you know, get your dailies done, even if you skip a day of dailies, which is going to be very, very good. Also on top of this, if you guys do like guild content, there is a decent amount of guild content. So this game does have like a guild map content here, and it's very nice because, you know, you can go around, strategize, min-max, or if you're lazy like me, you just use this assistant here and it will basically do everything for you, and then you get all the rewards, right, which is very good. Also, there's going to be guild boss, of course. There's also guild wars if you guys are into that. There is an auction house system, which I'm not really too much of a fan of. I can't really utilize it because of the time zone, but you can actually get some really good, you know, character shards here as well. But in terms of the content, the guild content, there is a lot of stuff that is very good. And on the topic of sweeping, so I didn't do my dailies today because I wanted to show you guys how the sweeping, the dailies work. So there is this fairy retainer, which you do unlock pretty early on. And if I do this, you can see that it does basically all the dailies for me. Right, there's going to be some where you have to actually do it. For example, like, you know, Trial by Fire, which is the tower mode, Coliseum, and something like Trial of Warborn, which is to upgrade your specific classes. But for the most part, it'll do most of it. You can see that there's a ton of stuff. You can customize it all as well. I just realized because I reinstalled the game, a lot of this reset. But you do want to make sure that you actually customize this to do the dailies that you want. For example, here, you know, for the heart trials when you're farming shards, you can actually choose the ones that you want to go for. And I should probably fix this because I just reinstalled the game because I wanted to switch it to my SSD. It did actually reset everything. So you could do something like that and then it'll actually do it. You also want to make sure you turn a lot of this off or on, depending on what you want. But yeah, just wanted to share with you guys very briefly about Dragon Traveler because I think a lot of people have been playing like Star Savior and stuff like that, other idle games, and kind of looking for something to play. It's never really too late to play this game, even though it is an idle game, you know, okay, I don't want to get demonetized, we're going to skip through. Even though it is an idle game, yeah, there's a lot of content you can do, and, you know, to be completely frank, you're not going to compete with the people at the top anyways, because they are giga whales spending like tens of thousands of dollars. But, you know, there are new servers that always open, so if you start now or even a little bit later, you know, you'll be on a later server, so you have a much better chance. I think I'm on one of the earlier servers. It's like a day 1 or day 2 server, so it's very hard to compete. But if you guys play a lot later, then, you know, it's actually better, to be honest. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know about Dragon Traveler. Like I said, yes, it's a sponsored video, but it is a very fun game, and I will say for sure that, you know, if you do enjoy idle games, this is one of the better ones on the market.